has everybody seen the video from the Port Hedland, the video that come out?
No.
No?
Of the council meeting.
Of the council meeting.
No.
Who hasn't seen it? Put your hands up, please. Okay. Would you like to hear an 11-minute audio, which is a video of that meeting, so then I don't have to make any claims?
Yes.
Yes? Are you all in agreement with that?
Yeah.
Then we're all on the same picture here, right? Because I probably will miss things, blah, blah, blah. So I'll put that on now. It's 11 minutes long. Listen to it, and then we'll have a discussion after that. Then I will let you know what I have actually done with council personally myself, personal to Tim in town. And then we'll have, I'll read out the response from him, what he wants from us, and we'll move forward with getting to comply with these nasty people again, but we'll do what they want at the start until we decide what the people will do. So, without further ado, I'll put the video on, we can have a listen, and then I'll tell you the response as I say it, and we'll go forwards from there. Everyone in agreement and happy with doing that?
Yes.
Yep. Righto, mate.
I want to take a moment to acknowledge the seriousness of the matter we have gathered to discuss. The synthetic DNA contamination found in Pfizer and Moderna COVID-19 vaccines. 2 weeks ago at our ordinary council meeting, this motion was shut down because it was not important, but more so because I brought it to the council too late. But I and millions of other Australians do not agree that this motion is not important. The contamination is not a minor issue. The report by Dr. David Speaker, presented in Exhibit 1 of tonight's motion, evidences levels of synthetic DNA contamination by up to 145 times higher than Australia's Therapeutic Goods Administration, the TGA, up to 145 times higher than the TGA's own safety limits. For those unfamiliar, the TGA limits are there for a reason, because synthetic DNA has been shown to integrate into human cells, leading to potential long-term health risks like cancer, genomic instability, vascular thromboses and blood clotting, as well as immune system disruptions. Dr. Speaker's findings are alarming, but they are also far from isolated. Independent studies now in Canada, Germany, and the US have all confirmed similar levels of contamination. International experts, including some of the world's leading oncologists, geneticists, virologists, immunologists, microbiologists, and biochemists, have joined forces to warn governments around the world, including our own government, about the dangers these contaminants pose. This is why the Honourable Russell Broadbent MP, the federal member for Monash, has written multiple letters to the Prime Minister, urging an immediate investigation and suspension of these vaccines. Yet the response from our government has been nothing but silence. Not a word from the Prime Minister, not a word from the Minister of Health, despite receiving clear scientific evidence that millions of Australians could be at risk, including those folks right here in Port Hedland who were forced to take these experimental shots and continue to take these dangerous shots, yet the government has chosen to remain silent. We now have evidence that has been undoubtedly forwarded and shared with the Attorney General Mark Dreyfus and with the Secretary of Health Blair Comley, that the contamination is significant. It's widespread and it's downright disturbing. Yet none of these high-ranking officials have stepped forward to address this publicly. None has even attempted to explain why this contamination was allowed to go on for so long unnoticed. But let's talk about what this means for us, the residents of Port Hedland. Exhibit 3, the science summary attached to Mr. Broadbent's second letter, presents a stark reality. In every vial of Australian-sourced mRNA vaccine, every single shot tested by Dr. Speaker, the levels of synthetic DNA contamination were so high that one shot could contain as many as 24 trillion synthetic DNA fragments. Trillion with a T. Think about that. Each one of us has around 37 trillion cells in our body, and one shot could be putting 24 foreign 24 trillion foreign DNA fragments into our bloodstream, with potentially billions of those fragments being the simian virus 40, SV40. SV40 is a genetic material that has been known for years to cause cancer. The science summary makes it clear. Only 3 to 10 of these SV40 fragments are needed to trigger what is called insertional mutagenesis, which is a scientific term for cancer-causing genetic changes. When I say 3, I mean 3. Not 300, not 3,000, not even 3 million. If just 3 to 10 fragments are needed to begin the cancer mutation process, what happens when someone receives billions of these SV40 fragments in a single shot? What happens when these contaminant shots are administered multiple times, as they have been, to millions of Australians, including Australian children?
There's been some statements made about the responsibility of local government and why we would be, looking at something like this. We actually do have a health department, and our health department goes out and makes sure that the businesses that are supplying, stuff that we eat or, stuff that we provide, to the public, that health department goes out and makes sure that those businesses aren't poisoning the population. So, we do have a responsibility when it comes to health. And we have a full department out there that actually does that work. So I don't see the difference between that and something like this. Now, I definitely support this motion. Now, before I go on, there's a lot of stuff in the media about the old tinfoil hat people and the bloody the anti-vaxxers and all of that sort of stuff. This is not about that. All right. I took the vaccine. It was my decision. I've said it many times before. Okay. I took it because the advice from the government, we were told that was expert advice. And that it was safe, and yet we were going to die. Now, you've heard that many times, if we didn't take that vaccine. I took the vaccine, all right? So don't call me an anti-vaxxer. I want to know the truth. So I definitely support this motion based on what I've read and seen over the past 4 years. The health issues that I've been told about by many Hedland people since, receiving these vaccines mirrors, a huge amount of stories that you see on the internet of many Australians who